something toxic that I like to do is show men how replaceable they are very quickly. I've talked about it in a million videos on here, so if you've seen that topic, you can skip this one. This is just the most recent version. You've seen it plenty of times before. Like, I really could have committed a terrible crime against an ex-boyfriend of mine. I could have. I had many, like, I really could have. And instead, I left that nigga's nice life relatively peacefully. Sure, did I make it, like, a lot of shit that was, it's like karma really came through at the end for that, the end of that relationship. Because that nigga was evil for, like, half of a fucking year. Like, for no goddamn reason. He was stupid. And I got to do a lot of things. I got to tell everybody about how he blew fucking $3,000 on a motherfucking deepfake AI of a porn star and put his whole house at risk and his child. The said porn star found out about it and then blasted it to several million people about how much of a pathetic loser this fucking guy is. I love that. Thank you, Angel Youngs. You can't get me to hate Angel Youngs. She's got nice titties, and she did that for me. It was fucking awesome. Amen, Angel Youngs, you're perfect. Because that nigga was evil. And simply put, the second I left that relationship, it's like life got better. Like, my skin got clear. I had more stability. It's like, once I kind of... Because simply put, once I kind of realized this man wants to put me through hell specifically because he thinks that I see him as the center of the universe. I couldn't even have a hobby, or else he would throw a tantrum. Because he wanted to be able to just act like I was some boring bitch and that, like, he was the center of my universe and the world spun around him. He is the sun and I am just a mere rock in his orbit. Like, no, nigga. The only thing that spun was his ass around when he saw how quickly I ran out of his fucking life and into the arms of another man. Very quickly. Like, I wasn't even really trying that hard. It's just everyone came out better. Like, imagine how it must feel to be like an abusive piece of shit who's like, haha, I just verbally abused Tamia and blocked her. And I said that even if she was struggling or suffering, that I don't give a shit. And how she's a narcissist. And I was so, yeah, I'll give it a few days. And when I come back, she's going to be so happy to see me. I'm going to come back right at 4th of July. Because I know she won't have any family, any friends. She's going to be alone and sad at her job. Miserable, broken, hungry. And then that nigga tried to tune in just to, like, I wasn't even opening his messages. And he was getting mad. Because he used to get immediate responses. Imagine you don't get a response for hours. You check, like, your ex-girlfriend's story. And then you just see me. Like, nice fucking beautiful wig that you loved me in. Beautiful teal outfit, waist beads, gold jewelry on. Like, I'm looking sexy like Esmeralda with the blue veils I had on. It was great. And I was in a man's Tesla. And I was being driven by a sexy Colombian man with sparklingly white and straight teeth and big brown eyes to motherfucking Lake Tahoe, baby. Like, he was a broke, evil, fat, tangled tooth nigga. Sorry, nigga. It's funny how I say nigga. He was a white man. I just like saying nigga for dramatic effect. But yeah, fuck that nigga. He was irate, and then it got even better. But wait, there's more. We all know how the story goes. Afterwards, I met a man who did like 8 activities on the first fucking date. Like, I'm talking like burlesque show, escape room, Michelin star restaurant. We went to North Beach and got serenaded by ukulele and guitar while watching the sunset, matching sweaters. He got me a ruby bracelet. We did so much crazy fun shit all within a first fucking date. That shit was spectacular, my nigga. And that nigga was sending me paragraphs upon paragraphs of tantrums. I was not reading all that shit. Like, fuck you, nigga. And it was going. And, like, next thing you know, it's like I was hooking up with, like, comedians in the scene who were much more popular and funnier than he was. Next thing you know, I had dudes with, like, fucking millions of followers online motherfucking trying to give me attention and promote my shit and help me out. Like, I went viral on the internet for backhanding a bitch. And then I got, like, double my subscriber count. I met a guy with a fucking, I don't remember how big his dick was, somewhere between 10 and 13 inches. It was fucking huge. I mean, huge. I don't really have a gag reflex like that, despite all the videos I've made about throwing up on penises. Shut up. But this man's dick was so big that the whole thing went all the way to the back of my throat, and there were still several inches left. That was impressive. I see why I was obsessed with that nigga. Ooh, I'm sorry. I feel bad for what happened to that guy, but let's not talk about it in this video. And that man was just snooping from burner pages, trying to tell me to kill myself. Being hella angry, putting hexes on me and shit. And it's like, boo-hoo, nigga, you were evil. And it's like, you should be, because it's like, he really should be, I could have beat the shit out of that man. I could have done so much more. And instead, it's like, cool, people know that you were sexually abusive to me and verbally abusive to me and a shit talker. People know that you're a weirdo. People know that you're pathetic and terrible with money and terrible to basically fucking everyone. The consequence of your action is just simply being known as what you are and what you made yourself out to be. And I am not expelling any more energy to hurt you. Anything that's hurting you is just simply the consequence of losing me. And you know what? Sometimes that just... And you know what? Sometimes that shit just feels good on its own. It just feels good to know that it's like sometimes that's just the natural consequence is losing me. That's your punishment. I've had it plenty of times with men. They'll complain about like, you've changed. Who are you now? You're just running around doing this, this, and that. And it's like, yeah, nigga, because I dated you and you weren't brushing your fucking teeth for 5 days in a row. And you were acting like I was crazy for wanting you to use the fucking Groupon we got months before to simply go out for a dinner. Where it's like, niggas weren't taking me on free dates and then want to complain that's like, okay, cool. Now if you want to ride this ride, you have to do this. Like, yeah, now you have to be like, take me to a fancy restaurant, buy me this jewelry, get me a bouquet of flowers just to meet me. And even then, I'm blocking you after. And then niggas want to throw tantrums because the bar raised higher. But then they also respect me more for it. It's weird. It's weird. People value what is harder to destroy. Like, how do I put this? If you don't quite value yourself and you put, like, let's say it's one of those things where it's like you could go somewhere shopping, like you could shop for clothes at like Walmart. And simply put, niggas are gonna act all sorts of bullshit in Walmart because it's fucking Walmart. It's like you're gonna have people motherfucking with unwiped asses and flip flops on backwards fucking doing the weirdest shit. Acting out. You know, you're gonna get the weird kids with the podcast mics asking you your body count as you're looking at fucking stupid ass multi-packs of Hanes underwear. Or you could take your ass to Target or Costco, you know? Like Costco has a membership. It's like they will be like, do you have a card? Do you have money? Let us have all your information before you come in here because this is exclusive. Not everyone can come in and we know we got it. So guess what? Everyone fucking loves Costco. And those who got it and plan to act right, they go to Costco and they act fucking right. And then they get to have all the luxuries of Costco. I'm just saying, you have to value yourself. Now, this is also something that happened. So, you know how I was talking about that guy Hay and how nice things were, how I thought he was gorgeous, how I thought he looked beautiful, and how he actually looked like some sort of beautiful, like, Roman or Greek emperor from the past, and how he was so sexy, and how he had 7 inches and hit my cervix and my G-spot at the same fucking time, and how he was so incredible to bed. I was soaked to my thighs, and all, like, you know, trust me, I liked him a lot. I would have enjoyed being in contact with him to the point of like, oh, look, I'm riding on the back of his Vesper throughout the city. And we're going out, hanging out with Timidity, bars. And we're going thrift shopping and he's buying me jewelry every now and then. And we're fucking like animals and doing weird shit like free use and soaking and watching cool movies and having a nice little time with each other. Just as friends. You know, that would have been really, really nice. But you know, niggas gotta act up. And he started treating me not as if, like, simply put, it's like he just started getting ungrateful. He already had a bit of ungratefulness before we fucked. Because, like, and that annoyed me. Because I remember leading up to us first having sex, like, he already kind of got a little bit too used to me talking to him every day. And he was getting more cold, taking forever to talk to me, being hella weird. And then the second I was like, you know what, I don't think I want to try to fuck someone. Like, if I'm this anxious about them not texting me for several hours, and the whole time they should be amped to even be in my presence because they don't pull bitches aside from me, maybe it would be terrible for my anxiety and mental health to hook up with them. So I canceled, and then suddenly, look, rapid text, rapid text, rapid text. Suddenly they gave a fuck about how I felt. The second I was like, sex is off the table and we should actually just be friends. And even then, like, you know, just more chill. Like, you could just be back to being like a borderline acquaintance. It's fine. I can just text you every now and then. I don't want to get too attached. It's not good for me. And then next thing you know, he was responding every single half second and asking me if I was okay, how I was feeling, trying to convince me, blah, 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 blah. Time passed. One thing led to another. Like, let's just say I did get, I don't know, a mix between nihilism and comfort, and I was just like, let's see it. We had sex. It was incredible. It was awesome. We had a great time. You know, he got me some very nice, pretty jewelry and some delicious ramen. We had some fun conversations and some fun flirtations. It was a pleasant time. We fucked like animals, and it was actually going to seem promising. Like, oh, I could do this again with him sometimes. He seems like he's just what I needed. Right? Wrong. At least, like, right guy, wrong time. Or wrong guy, right time. One of those things. It was like he was just the person I needed at the moment to help me get over that asshole Mitchell who made me cry. It's kind of funny. Ironically, Mitchell was a replacement for my ex Liam, because Liam on Christmas, he was like, yeah, I didn't get you a gift for Christmas. on December 19th. And then I was like, okay, you're not about to play in my face like I'm not valuable. So you know what I did? I got myself, what the fuck? It's storming. It started raining hard as shit. I'm amazing. Amen. I'm happy as hell. That's so funny. And because I just heard someone yell, woohoo, woohoo, hello, loud outside. And that was my exact reaction. It was raining so hard, I opened my window and willingly let myself and my laptop get sprayed with nasty fucking window water just to admire the water. That's how Californians react when we see water. We don't see a lot of it. That was a blast. Quite literally, blast of water in my mouth. Very disgusting. Anyway, as I was saying, on December 19th, Liam was acting an ass, trying to act like I wasn't shit for Christmas. So I got myself some fine shit for Christmas. Like fucking December 20th, the very next day, 8 a.m. on the dot. Got talked to by Mitchell's fine ass, and we did our thing for a week, and that was a blast. And then did I suffer for 2 months after? Absolutely, almost 3 months. But you know what happened? Then I met Hay. And Hay popped out of the blue with his 7-inch dick and his beautiful, beautiful jawline and his lovely beard and beautiful, gorgeous fucking brown eyes and his amazing, like, oh my god, he ate me out so good. It was like he had 3 tongues. 3 tongues! Like some Cthulhu fucking entity lived in his mouth and came out just to, like, it's like, how are you up here, but also down here, and then also doing this, and then also this on the side, all at the same time? Sir, are you an incubus? Are you the devil? You... Oh my god. That shit was sexy, my boy. Oh god, he was hot. Amen, he was lovely. But he had self-esteem issues. And I'll put it this way, tale as old as time, when you have sex with a man, they usually get a lot colder, depending on what happens and the connection and the duration, all that. And I was disappointed. And it was one of those things where eventually, let's just say we hooked up and the anxiety started kicking in. It's like, okay, he's not responding to me as much. He's not talking to me as much. And it's making me really sad. Because it's like, you know, he was the one hyping up, like, hey, we could go thrift shopping. We could hang out at my new place and watch movies. I could have you over any day I want, anytime. Once I move into my new place, blah, blah, blah. And one can say that he was just busy, but at the same time, it's like, nah. Because I'll put it this way. The final straw was one morning where he straight up was like, he straight up. Like, I remember I woke up at like 7, 8 a.m. And I was like, okay, he'll probably message me at some point today. Some point. I know he wakes up really early. He'll message me at some point. Time tick, tick, tock. It was like 12, like 15, 12:30. This nigga first thing sends me a porn link. No sort of, hey, good morning. How are you doing? How was last night? How's life? Nope, just straight up porn link of some random ass, like, chick getting drilled or what. Oh, wait, no, I remember. It was some ebony lesbians. And the video was a little too sloppy for my taste, you know. Like, I don't know. I don't watch ebony porn because I just feel like there's a lot of saliva. And I don't know. Like, shout out to black women. I love black women. But ebony porn, it's like, why is it so wet? It's like, the noises in that video actually did sound like some Cthulhu monster shit. It's like, no, thank you. And she was doing it to... You don't need to know all this. I'm sorry. Let me stay on topic. Sorry. let me stay on topic. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's like, nigga, I waited all morning for any sort of good morning, how are you, blah, blah, blah. Any sort of conversation, and the most this nigga can do is a porn link. And I tried to talk to him at some point, and he was giving, like, one-word answers, and I just was like, you know what, actually, since we aren't going to be able to meet for a few weeks because you're moving and you're so busy lately, and I don't know, I feel like I have really bad anxiety, and I have premenstrual dysphoric disorder, and a bunch of things that just can make me mentally not good, and I don't want it to affect you. Maybe we shouldn't talk for a few weeks, just because I want to make sure that, like, because I feel like I have higher, like, I kind of want more out of a friend. Like, I have a bit of a higher bar for, like, what I like out of a friendship, and higher, more consistent communication and bonding, and I feel like I haven't been getting that quite yet. And we aren't going to be able to fuck for a while. And let's just say he took it defensively. And then I had to pop off and be like, nigga, like, he tried to do the accusing me of wanting a relationship with him, which really pissed me off. And I know I do have a video talking about how I did find him I had a crush on him, but not that much of a crush on him. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, I was still very much going to be single. Thank you. I don't really like niggas that much. I'm being very honest here. And I told his ass, I was like, listen, you're not feeling the friend, but you're friends with benefits. There's no friend and there's no benefits. You're a fuck buddy. We aren't fucking and you're not being a buddy. I would like people who can actually talk more and don't just fucking wait until it's like in the afternoon to give me one word answers after hours of not talking and like hella distance and like bad porn links. Like, no, thank you. Goodbye. Like, and I said, thank you for showing your true colors and showing how annoying you truly fucking are. And I even said some shit about like how a relationship was never gonna be truly on the table with someone like him. That was a little mean, but to be fair, like, he did also kind of tell me passively the night before that he had a kind of emotionally cheated on the last person he was with. I don't know. I'll put it to you like this. I feel like a little bad about it because I did still. Anyway, let's just say he saw real time how quickly he got replaced. And it's so funny because I specifically was like, you know what? Fuck men. I'm tired of men. I just wanted to have someone where I could fuck them and have conversations with them and have mainly a peaceful life where every once in a while, like, I can have a friend who just munches me the fuck down, slurps me up nice and good so that I'm mentally stable, you know, so my sex addiction and sex drive aren't just totally fucking destroying me and eating me from the inside out. I wanted to come, motherfucker! And instead you got me with this stupid ass. It's like, no. It's like, do you know how annoying it is to be accused of wanting a relationship with some nigga who looks like a gay non-binary Nosferatu who works at a fucking Starbucks? Like, no thank you. Goodbye. Like, he's cute, but not that fucking cute. Like, he's cool, not that fucking like, okay, he's pretty cool. But let's not talk about it too much. Okay, maybe I'm blushing a little bit. He's a pretty cool guy. I gotta give him to. I would have been his casual acquaintance and or friend online for several years if he wasn't cool. And also, that's something I was worried about. I thought I don't want to destroy this bond that I've had for several years, but at the same time, head is head. Titty sucking is titty sucking. And if we can be friends after, that would be cool. But could we? No. Anyway, let's just say, I don't know, I did a rant on my story talking in depth about how hurt I was by it and how I really did just want to take a few weeks apart so that it could be like, in the meantime, instead of obsessing over him every single day, it's like we have our distance, we end it there, and maybe on like April Fool's Day, we can go back to fooling around. But until then, I needed to like work on my chakras, detangle my hair, like work on like getting a stable job and cleaning up my place and bedroom so he could meet me here if he wanted to, and just like, you know, getting my fashions together, getting my skin and teeth looking good and nice, like, you know, they need a ton of bit more whitening and stuff. And I just thought to myself, I want to, like, by the time the next few weeks are up, he's going to be moved into his place and settled, and I get to christen his apartment with him, and I can be like my most exfoliated, long healthy hair, luscious lipped, vitamin taking, mentally stable, not anxious or avoidant, like just healthily attached motherfucker ever. And I can have myself a good time. Did that go as planned? No. But I'm sure he kind of also realized it's like, hey, I'm kind of in, like, that's always what happens. Dudes kind of go, oh, wait, I struggled to get pussy in the first place. I had a girl who was willing to fuck me in the specific way she fucked me. And I've never had that before. Like, it's like you had a relationship for several years where the most you could do was like missionary, and even then she didn't like fucking you, you didn't really like fucking her, and you finally have the first girl you get in months, and you're gonna start being disrespectful and acting like she's asking, like she fucked you raw, nigga, and you're gonna act like a fucking text is too much. Like a how are you doing, good morning, or like, come on, like, nigga, you know you have your phone. Everyone has their phone in their hand 24 fucking 7. I don't like when people have the excuses of, I don't text all the time. No, you text who you like all the fucking time, because you were texting me rapid fire any second of the day happily because you liked me. The second you got what you wanted, now I'm back to a stranger. Novelty is down in your eyes. Value is lost. Why buy the cow metaphor? You know, all that stupid shit. And it's very frustrating. And simply put, I just kind of thought to myself, wow, I fucked that guy, and like I didn't get what I wanted. Like, you know, of course I still got nice things. I got like pretty good food. I got jewelry. Yeah, in fact, one of his expensive necklaces actually came in the mail, and I'm excited to check that out later today, if not tomorrow, and other things. And it was just like, I'll say it to you like this. This nigga really, really, really tried it. And I just thought to myself, okay, since he thinks that if I'm annoying him, I'm going to give him the blessing of being calm. If he thinks I have no value, let me leave. And then he can go find that value so easily somewhere else if he thinks he can get it. Like, okay, go find you another bitch with a fucking no gag reflex, legs pinned back, all sorts of flexible, all sorts of soaking wet, all sorts of kinky, freaky, experimental, and patient, all sorts of sweet, all sorts of vocal, you know, all the yes God, amen, have mercy on my soul, all this like talking you through it. If you genuinely think you can get someone hotter and better in bed and nicer and all that shit, then I implore you to go find it. Because you're not about to sit here and try to guilt trip. He tried to guilt trip me, and I don't stand for that shit. So I had to do what I am known to do best. Let's just say at midnight that evening, like, I remember it took him 5 hours to try to send me an apology. And it wasn't really an apology. It was like a weak ass, like, this dude doesn't get therapy ass response. Like, he just kind of was like, ooh, sorry, didn't mean to project or be da 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 da, I'll leave you alone, blah 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 blah. Like, it just wasn't a real apology. There was no attempt to really like give a resolution, to apologize, to improve anything other than, oh, I had a bad day and just at work today and just a rough few days, blah blah blah. Like, fuck you. Like, how do I put this? If you do something to hurt me and then I call you out on it and your response is simply, sorry, I had a bad day and I've been having a few rough days lately, and then it's like, didn't mean to project or do this or that, uh or be like insensitive, I'll leave you alone for now, sorry Tam. It's like, that's not really an apology as much as it is like, oh, I'm really sorry that I haven't been, like, you know, explain why you're sorry. Otherwise it's like, because how do I put this? If I slap someone in the face and they're like, hey man, you hit me, and I say, sorry, I was having a bad day, that's not an apology. That's not any sort of accountability. There's nothing there, any of that. And anyway, he saw my story where I basically even talked about what he texted me, and I was like, that's not any form of accountability. That's not a real apology. If he really wants to come back into my life after disrespecting me so much, you know what? I think that, like, he either needs to give a real apology, but even that probably won't work because I doubt he even has it in him, or an apology gift. Like, fuck it, get me something nice then. Until then, like, he can just fuck off. And, you know, that was around midnight that I was like, fuck that guy. I refuse to feel devalued. And you know, want to know what happened? 8 a.m. the next morning, I had 2 messages from 2 different suitors. And I was like, oh shit. And I checked one of them. One of them was this guy who seemed nice enough. He had a post on his account for this group called Eating Your Own Cum. And then he made a post like, hey guys, how do you hype yourself to eat your own cum? I want to put my own cum in my coffee. And I was like, yeah, I'm not talking to this nigga. So I talked to another guy. And the other guy who reached out to me, he was actually pretty cute. And let's just say one thing led to another. It's going so well that I don't even want to tell you about it. But let's just say, now put yourself in the shoes of Hay. You know, the guy I was hooking up with before. Imagine you kind of like, you're like, to me, wants to talk all the time. And I don't even want to talk to her that bad. And like, she tries to communicate with you, you're just like, oh god, I'm not, like, I don't want to get involved with someone else telling me I'm not doing something right. Why can't she be chill? Blah blah blah. So she cuts you off. It takes you 5 hours to realize, oh shit, right, I have no other options for pussy. And then you move on, like, or not move on, but you know, it takes you 5 hours, you apologize, but like the most half-hearted bullshit ever. Half-hearted as fuck. And then you watch her story as soon as she posts, and you just see her ranting about how pathetic you are, how you look like a gay Nosferatu, and all this types of, like, shit that's not exactly the nicest. But then she also has moments where she did talk about genuinely enjoying your company, wanting to be friends, and all the shit that she was gonna do for you. How she wanted to do this for you, bake for you, try new sexual positions and new moves, show you cool things, go out to comedy shows and cool events with you. And now you're starting to realize the weight of your actions. And then, let's just say, 8 a.m. hit. That's when I was, yeah, one thing led to another. He watched my story for the day, and right around midnight or so, when he saw me talking about having 10 toes on the top of this random dude's Tesla in the backseat of his car, getting slurped up and munched down in the most slutty way possible by this man who also has a lot of money and is actually very sweet, thoughtful, and literally, like, is the nicest guy. Yeah, he was so salty about that he hasn't watched a single story of mine since. And that made me feel good. Because it's like, why? Because hurting people sometimes brings me pleasure. That's not the nicest thing. Also, I gotta wash my mouth out soon. Not just because shit talking can fuck up your breath. You know, old wives' tale. But also because that rainwater from my nasty ass unwashed funky, stupid house's windowsill is still gonna fuck with my throat. But I will say this. I found it extremely funny. I had the most evil villain cackle, and I felt like a confusing. This always happens with each thing. I feel bad for the dudes. I feel bad in the sense of, oh no, this person I used to like is hurt now, and they're sad and suffering. But then sometimes I think to myself, well, don't feel too bad for them because, like, in the great words of Mitchell, he even said himself that if someone doesn't change their situation, then clearly they're happy with it. Like my ex from last summer, he was an asshole and he had every opportunity to change and instead chose every single opportunity to be hated. And then consequences naturally came where it's like, cool, you no longer get chances. I no longer see you as a future husband. I see you as that nigga who was raping me, as that nigga who was sexually abusive and couldn't take no for an answer. And now you're replaced. And I'm gonna go on dates with, like, sweet boys who, like, actually know what consent is and are honest and have bigger dicks and more money and are younger with nice teeth. And that made that nigga mad. And it's like, yeah, maybe you should have fucking realized who I was and who you were and acted accordingly. I'm just saying, you have to have fucking common sense or it's not gonna work out. But it was very fun. Because guess what? Me and, there was someone involved. Oh yeah, me and the guy I've been currently seeing. I don't want to talk about him too much, but he's really nice. Like, I could gush about him, but at the same time, I don't know. Sometimes relationships thrive when they move in silence. I don't really believe in evil eye or nothing, but sometimes it's like sometimes you talk about a man and then just watch how the second you hype up a man, he does bullshit. I was terrified yesterday because I actually got online and I was like, I got a cute German boyfriend. And then guess what? Suddenly he was like, we had a date and he took like over an hour to respond to me. Like when we were supposed to meet up at like 3:30 and I was texting him and calling him at like 2:49 like, hey, you haven't messaged me for quite a bit of time. Is everything okay? Are you good? For like several hours. I was scared, bitch. I was like, please don't fucking break my heart and give me abandonment issues and anxiety today. Mm-mm. Because, oh, these niggas know how to piss me off. But it's so funny because, like, for context reasons, it is kind of funny. Like, right after me and things with Hey ended, like I was spending the rest of the day like, you know what, fuck it, I was gonna try to grow and change for a man. I was gonna learn how to twerk. I was even better, I was gonna learn all sorts of flexible positions and improve my looks, brains, beauty, all that, to hopefully be seen as more impressive to him. But you know what, like, he's gone. I could still do that, but I kind of hate men now a lot more than before, and I already hated them quite a bit. I thought to myself, the next man I meet, I don't know what I like. I feel like I'm gonna spit in a man's face and slap the shit out of him. And you know what's convenient? When a guy slides in my DMs and he's like, "Hi, I have a lot of money and I want a girlfriend," and I specifically have a fetish for getting slapped and spit on and called things like bitch, slut, whore. It's like, ooh. And now we've been getting along very, very wonderful, and they seem very, very sweet. And let's just say they're backing up promises that they're making to me off the bat, and I really enjoy it, and I genuinely really like this guy. But I can like a lot of people, so I'm also still taking it, we're both taking it very, very slow, very, very slow, but he still likes me a lot. And do you know how good it feels to go from like, oh no, Hey hasn't responded to my message in like 6 hours, I'm so sad, to like next thing you know it's like 6 a.m., I'll wake up and the first text in my phone is good morning baby for my new boyfriend. That's fucking amazing. And all that happened because I valued myself. I was like, because sometimes you gotta do that just to remember who the fuck you are. You don't have to fuck a nigga, you don't have to date a nigga seriously, but sometimes the best thing you can do after a breakup or any point is just go on a date. Not always though. Take it like, don't totally male center your happiness. I'm saying it, but I am saying, like, in my personal opinion, it's like okay, bitch, you could be at home in the fetal position, crying, drinking Mountain Dew and Red Bull all day just to get like the slightest bit of dopamine, being fucking miserable, or you could wake up, doll yourself up, take a nice everything shower, shave everything, wash your hair real nice, put on some lip gloss and that jewelry that makes you feel real special, and you can go on a date with a man and he will take you out for tapas and sangria, and he will make you laugh and giggle and call you all sorts of gorgeous, and he will make you smile. And then later in the evening, you're going to have cool conversations, and he's going to eat your ass and pussy in the back of his Tesla and look at you with huge loving eyes and tell you how gorgeous you are as you call him a bitch, slut, and a whore. And you are going to love it. And you're going to feel free. And then you'll post about it on your Instagram, and then the guy who you were seeing last will be so upset and irate at the fact that you replaced him in under, like, it wasn't even a full 24 hours, or was it? I mean, not like really. Before you fully saw someone else and got someone else to do what he couldn't. Text you back fast, treat you well, and value you. And funny enough, I guess I'm glad that it happened, because I won't say too much detail. Let's just say the situation I'm in. This new man has really, let's just say he's impressed me so far. And I'd like to see how much more he can impress me. But if you knew, you'd be like, ooh, girl. He's very sweet, and I'm glowing just thinking about him. Yeah, so shout out to Hay for helping me get over Mitchell. I'm glad that he was able to just make me forget about that nigga so fast. And then shout out to the new dude I'm seeing for making me forget about Hay super fast, because it's like, simply put, shout out to the beautiful brown-haired, strong-nosed, strong jawlined, like fluffy bearded 7-inch dick man that Hay is. He was very nice until he wasn't. And then the second he wasn't, I was like, you know what, I deserve nice treatment. And then I'm at a luxury restaurant having a great time with a man who's balling out on me and spending on me immediately. Like, fucking 10 times more than the other guy was. And, you know, Hay was already quite spending. So it's like, wow. And, yeah, and I was having amazing sex. And so far, it's good. And we've been seeing each other for a few weeks, and it's just like, holy shit, blessing in disguise. Ooh, if I wish I could tell you more, but some things have to be kept to oneself. Maybe I'll tell you in a month or a few months, because, but boy, this man is so beautiful and lovely, I gotta say. So yeah, you just gotta value yourself. If that nigga's treating you like shit, get a new one. Or just leave and make your life awesome and valuable on your own terms. Because even if I didn't meet the German dude, I'd still be trying. I'd still be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna, like, you know, I was still gonna detangle my hair and go out and socialize and put on cute outfits and have a fucking blast. I'm known to do that. I'm known to. Hell, for Valentine's Day, when me and Liam were around each other, and he didn't do shit for Valentine's Day, despite already, it's like, nigga, let me get this straight. You were so sad about me dipping out for Mitchell on Christmas, and all this shit, and leaving, and ignoring your texts for days, and leaving you on red, and getting my pussy ate at beautiful boutique hotels. But then things got really good when we came back, just for him to like relapse into a bunch of shitty behaviors. And then I would just like, he could tell I was gonna cut him off. Sometimes you just need to instill the fear in the man that you can cut him off. You don't fully need to cut him off, you just need to show him he is replaceable. And it feels fucking good, and I love to do it. It's one of those things where it's like, sometimes I feel bad about it, and I don't, it's like, I know pride is not the best quality in a person, but sometimes it just does feel good where it's like, look, you acted like I was just some annoying bitch who was sapping into your money, and that I wasn't worth, like, the extra burger on a DoorDash order, and now I'm at a Michelin star restaurant with someone else. Oh, look, you were acting like I wasn't worth the fucking extra $6 at Domino's for the mix and match rings, and now I'm with a new guy who has a 13-inch thing. Sometimes, like, I'm just saying, you gotta show these niggas to stop playing in your face. Play in their face even harder. Just fucking stomp it. Curb stomp these niggas with, like, emotions and shit. I'm just saying, sometimes you gotta do that shit. And it's beautiful. And, like, sometimes I have to remind myself, don't feel bad, because these niggas don't own you, and if they truly did, they would be working much harder to keep you. And they would be actually doing good and right by you. So simply put, don't feel bad for leaving for someone who values you. Like, you know, it's good to value oneself, absolutely, 100%. Don't worry, I'm still doing that, like, trust me. Like, let's just say I am working on something, and I plan on taking more vitamins, doing more stretching and working out, and I have been a nice little socialite this week, and probably will for the rest of the week. I'm just saying. Go where you are wanted. And I'm so glad that I went, like, I really did, like, mind you, I will say it loud and proud, I truly did like Hay. I wasn't super attached to what the ending would be, but I remember I was just like, I am so happy that I could have a new buddy to do things with. This is what I truly love, and this is truly blessed and special to me. And then guess what? This man fucked up. He fumbled the bag. And it's like I was really hoping that we would get to the point where I could show him my favorite movies and video games. We'd go like we'd make a consistent habit of like thrift shopping and antiquing, shopping with each other, going to his place, banging like fucking animals for hours, me slutting him out, me like really, I really wanted to do that. But then he started acting like it's like, oh no, she wants to have me semi give a fuck about like little shit. Like, it's like, yeah, nigga, we were talking all the time before. And now that we fucked, you're trying to act like I'm a nuisance and not a blessing. So cool. The blessing left. You cried about it. And I am glad that it's like, I literally watched my story and I saw the exact moment where he permanently was like, I'm no longer talking to her. He was so upset. And that makes me happy. It makes me a little sad, but eh, his fault. And so now I have a new lovely nigga with an even, like, his dick's even bigger. And he's so cute and handsome. And I like he has a sexy German accent, so he doesn't say think, he'll say think. So he'll be like, oh yeah, I think about this all the time. And he'll say it in like a sweet little soft voice. And he's like, I like him a lot. And anytime I'm talking, like, I could just be talking about one thing or another thing, like, oh, I'm looking up vitamins. He'll be like, I'll buy those for you. You want me to buy you some vitamins? I'm like right next to my job. It's like, oh, okay, hey, thank you. If like he heard about my gemstone collection and like straight up like I thought Hay was great. Hay was the type of guy where it's like, hey, I already gave you $100 for this one expensive beautiful necklace from Etsy, but hey, we're at Bloomingdale's and there's this other gorgeous necklace. I'll buy this one for you too. Fuck it, let's do it. And I'll buy you food. I'll buy like, hey, I'll buy you fucking like he bought me like 3 different meals that same day, like just like fucking second dinner and everything. It was crazy. And then it's wild to know that it's like, oh, and he got replaced by the lovely German dude who like, yeah, that nigga will buy me second dinner now. Really nice, like multi-second dinners. And he'll be like, hey, guess what? I'm gonna like I won't say how much money he gave me. He gave me, let's just say he's very, I like this man already. Because on top of what he already gave me, he's like, hey, I know you have a thing for gemstones. I know you love gemstones. It's your favorite thing. I want to buy you, like, pick out a gemstone that's, like, expensive. I will buy it for you. And he bought it for me, sent me the money and everything. It's on the way. And he said, I'm going to do this for you once a month. He gave me money to get a pedicure. And I got one of those fancy ones. Like, it was the nicest pedicure ever. Like, the nice little, I think they were Vietnamese ladies, were so fucking sweet. So fucking sweet. They were the nicest. Like, I have never had a night. Like, it's been ages. I like, no, actually, I can't really name a time I've had a nice, positive experience with a pedicure ever. This was the first time. And then they did stuff like they made it a spa. They put hot paraffin wax all over my feet, like they fucking quadruple moisturize that shit at bare minimum, at least 4 fucking ways, 4 different times. They had masks put on my leg. They had steam towels, scrubs. I got multiple foot massages. They had the cuticle trimmer that they ripped out to shave down my cuticles and all that. They put on hella layers of gel polish in the perfect pussy pink color. Oh, they were all so nice and they made friendly conversation and they were flirty. One of the ladies said I looked 15. I did not like that, but you know what? she it's you know what? It's better than someone looking at my eyebrows, looking at my lip and then saying, "You want lip wax too?" Get lip wax. You want boyfriend? You won't get boyfriend unless with lip wax. It's like, okay, I'll sorry for that impersonation. I apologize in advance if that's fucked up. I'm very sorry. But that's still pretty accurate. Like, I had a fucking fucked up mani pedi experience. I've had plenty of those. Oh my god, you could tell a bitch hella times how you want your nails done. And they will, it's like you could tell them you want acrylic nails, they will give you gel painted, and it didn't matter if you said you wanted acrylic nails 18 fucking times, they will still yell in your face and be like, we're giving you, no, too much, next time, your fault, fuck you. And then, or it'll be like someone will say it's something insulting to me, I fire back something under my breath, and then next thing, like, I still have a scar on this fucking hand from a fucking bitch purposely taking the lemon salt scrub and putting it hella hard on my hand on purpose because she knew it would permanently scar it. Like, fuck that bitch. Ooh, anyway, I won't say what I did to those places because until the statute of limitations is up. But let's just say it felt good to have a new place where it's like, oh, look, I have caring people who are sweet. And, like, I can give, like, the first place I genuinely was like, I'm tipping. And it's going to be a big tip. Like, shit. Like, bro, it was so relaxing. This man is so nice. And he does me right and he does me well. And every single morning, 7 a.m., the second he wakes up, the first person he texts me. And that feels so good. Because guess what? Like, if I were to stick around with hay, it would have just been weeks and weeks of me being in the fetal position in total agony, suffering, sad as fuck, waiting on him to even give me like a little breadcrumb of attention. But I said, fuck that shit. I'm gonna go for real bread. And I got real bread. I got fancy ass, beautiful German pretzel bread, and it's amazing. He's fucking turning me every way out. And we haven't even fully fucked. It's great. Yeah, I love the slutty sex, and I love his vibes, and also we do have a lot in common. He's a really sweet guy. I'm glad I met him, so it's a blessing in disguise, and I'm just glad that it's like I finally hit the point where it's like, okay, I've suffered enough in life, where I went for like I was like I'm only gonna go for a man who can absolutely pamper me, spoil me, and all that shit. I'm not settling for anything fucking less, and it got fucking overnight shipping, 8 a.m. that same day. Whew. And now here I am, several weeks later. Instead of that, my skin is getting healthier, like my hair is getting healthier. Believe it or not, it is. It's actually like my spit ends are going away. And it's like my hair is actually really soft and luxurious to the touch. And I've been able to like afford things and actually like eat every day. And it's been really pleasant. Amen. I'm just saying. Go where you're wanted. Bye.